on average between a black and white household.
It's like if you're black in this country, you have to be like, well, what the hell? What's up with us?
Closing the wealth gap is vital and must address issues like lower wages, higher unemployment, and housing discrimination among black populations, as well as reparations.
How do you close this gap, this huge gap in wealth between whites and blacks?
Reparations.
Reparations.
How much are we talking about here, Ta-Nehisi?
Well, we don't actually know, although I will take a check on behalf of myself.
I think reparations have to happen for black people. You know what I mean? Because slavery was America's original sin. And I really don't think no good is going to come to this country until they atone for their original sin, which was slavery.
Tariq, thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you join this conversation, especially with your expertise in the business world, because you are the president of Combs and
Hello. Hi guys. Hola. Welcome everybody. Welcome to, hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Yeah, so this is different. We're not going to be playing any games today. Yeah, this is going to be a very different stream today. So, hopefully the audio is working pretty good. And let me see here. The chat looks a little, let's see. Maybe if we made it smaller. That should be fine like that. Okay, so purpose of this video. Well, I say video because I'm doing a review of Anime Expo 2022, which I attended this past weekend. I'm gonna go ahead and upload this video on my YouTube at There's Lala Valentine. I kind of want to archive my thoughts on the convention and my experiences, and it was my first time staffing at Anime Expo, and that was an experience. That was very different. So I don't have a agenda of how long and what we're gonna talk about. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. So first off, let me say that I have gone to Anime Expo. My first con was 2008, and I went with some friends, had a good time. I was very happy to meet other anime fans, and I was like, I want to keep coming back every single year, and I've been doing that. I did not go during 2015 to 17. I didn't go, but yes. Hello, mother fluffer. Hello. Hopefully you could hear that sound effect. Thank you, Cinnamon. Thank you for doing the first channel point. You took the gold today, my guy. I haven't set this scene up on OBS, so it's still a work in progress. So hopefully it goes well. But yeah, so I'm half asleep right now, fighting to sleep badly. No worries, Cinnamon. If you need to go to sleep, go for it. I totally and completely understand. Quick question, how's my audio doing though? I just want to know. But yeah, so going back to Anime Expo. Back in February, I saw on Facebook that Bushiroad was looking for people to staff the convention. Sounds great. How's the music? Is the music too loud, or is it good? I don't know if the music's coming through or if it's like louder than my voice. But yeah, so I decided to apply to Bushiroad and see where that went. I want to say 3 weeks before Anime Expo, they contacted me and said, hey, would you want to staff the con and just help, like, you know, set up, have the con, you know, give out stuff or whatever they do in, you know, anime cons. I've never staffed before, and this would be something different. And me, I'm always a type of person that I love doing something different, just trying things to see if it's something I'll stick with. What music? I hear something in the background, kind of, but not sure. Okay, let me see. How about that? Is that better? Do you hear the music a little more? I had music playing in the background just so it can have some sound instead of my voice. But yeah, so going back to the story, I went ahead and applied. They contacted me 3 weeks before the con, and I said, yeah, why not? It's something different, something new. I hear it now. Okay, cool. Thank you. Is it too loud? Is it distracting from my voice? Sounds chill. Okay, cool. That's the vibe I wanted to go for tonight's stream. But yes, I wanted to try something different. So I went ahead and took the opportunity, and this is where day 0 starts. So day 0, which it was Thursday, we went to go to the con, the whole group that worked with Bushiroad. They had us pick up our COVID wristbands, which I actually don't have with me, but it was just like a simple green bracelet that you just have to have during the entire con, just to know that you know your paperwork for COVID is everything just checks out. So we did that, and then we went to go get our badges, which were do I have the exhibitor badge? Hold on, let me How did I start this stream and not have the badge? Give me 1 second. Let me go get the badge for you guys. I'll be right back.
And generational poverty and the consistent injustices that we see across the country. And I'm doing my part to address that right now, focusing on policies like Medicare for All, universal basic income, financial freedom, and ensuring reparations, and making sure that we address environmental injustices and the challenges that have plagued our communities. And my hope is being restored because a coalition is growing from the hood to the holler based on our common bonds, because the fight for liberation and healing for the Black community will uplift all of us.
According to the National Alliance on Mental Health, 1 in 3 Black adults who need mental health care actually...
Okay, I'm back. I feel like we're going to be doing that a lot during the stream, because, yeah. Anyways, this was the badge that there was given to us. It was a different color badge than normal, and it was for the exhibit hall for Bushiroad. This was the back. It's pretty cool. It's like, I just dropped my phone. But yeah, it was, it's like a hard plastic. They decided to go with a different method for accessing the con, just to keep track of everybody. It was like a tap system, so this gave you access into the convention center. You have to tap when you went in and then tap when you left the building, which is pretty cool. I kind of liked it. So I'm trying to get my thoughts to kind of figure out how I want to lay out the conversations. I guess let me continue with the story of my experience at the con, and then we will, and then I'll say my final thoughts towards the end. So we picked up our badges, and then we helped not set up the booth, but we were taking care of inventory and just getting things ready for the next day, which was day 1, which was Friday. Yes. I was like, I messed up, but yeah, so it was a pretty short day. We just went and worked for, I think, 4 to 5 hours, and then we left for the day. So next day, which was day 1, Friday, I believe it was a Friday for day 1. My goodness, that was something. That was really crazy. So day 1, if you guys have been to Anime Expo, you know it's insane. You know that it's packed. It's just super packed. I didn't have to wait in line to get into the convention because I was staffing. So staff had their own access, section. Jesus, tongue tied. So they so it was really quick just to get. I think I waited in line maybe 5 minutes. I had to be there at 8 o'clock just to get ready for the convention. So once I got there, they automatically assigned everybody to their post for the weekend. I thought they were gonna like alternate us and have us do like different jobs, but they thought it was just easier for, I saw a tail. It's my cat, yeah. She's hanging out with me. So we had assigned positions for the entire convention. I was in charge of giving away these, I don't have the card with me, but like Y Schwartz cards. And I was giving away the Chainsaw Man one, which out of all the cards we were giving away, I don't have the Chainsaw Man one, which was my card, but these were the cards that were being given out at the Anime Expo. So we have Aaron, Attack on That's an accurate name. Oh, that is not Aaron. So yeah, we had this card, Attack on Titan, and then we had Miss Kobayashi. Focus. Okay. So we were giving those cards away. And the Chainsaw Man, which I don't have the freaking Chainsaw Man card, so I do apologize for that. Are these designated for each day or it's a scheduled pre-made? So these tickets were actually given out the entire weekend. They didn't alternate them. You could have grabbed some Friday all the way to Monday. They didn't like, oh, one day is just Kobayashi, one day is this and that. No, it was available the entire con. So that was cool. Oh, actually, since I'm here, they also gave us shirts. They gave us black shirts. That's pretty cool. See? So that was the front. And then this is the back. So yeah, those were the staff shirts we were given. They were, they gave us two. They gave us two for the weekend because we had to alternate. They had us, so for the convention, they had us working 10-hour days. So I would come in at 8 and we would finish up at 6 p.m. Friday all the way to Monday, the entire 4 days of the con, which is it was tiring. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little tiring, but it was really cool because seeing just con goers or anime fans going by and taking pictures, seeing all the cool cosplays. The people that I was giving out the cards to were really nice. I see my cat right there. He might make an appearance because he's a diva that way. So yeah, so as I was giving this, actually, let me gather my thoughts. So I have never worked customer service. I've always worked like office jobs, but kind of like in the back, kind of like an introvert job, because I am an introvert. Hence why I'm not very good at speaking. And this is why I'm on Twitch, so I can practice speaking in front of people, so I can get over that, because I don't want to be a shut-in and just not being able to speak to people. Anyways, going back to the story, they were, where was I? Oh, that's my train of thought. Anyways, oh yeah, first customer service job. It was definitely an experience. I did have some difficult people I dealt with. I think the two major ones were just two people, but I'm not gonna say the name or say the situation because, you know, it's not right. So, but overall, everybody was friendly, and we did have, like the head of security come to our booth a couple of times because I'm not gonna lie, every booth, like Atlas, Arc System Works, Hoyoverse, which are the people who made Genshin Impact, you know, Bandai Namco, all these companies, their booths were packed, ridiculously packed. I felt really bad because there was times where people would come over and over and just like ask, hey, is the line down or can we get in line? But because of fire, you know, safety reasons, we couldn't let people just line up because they would just block the walkway. And they were highly encouraging people to keep moving along, because, you know, people would stop for pictures, people would chat, people would try to like reconvene with other groups, and it was just madness. It was madness, and it was very like, I was very nervous, but after a while, like after the first day, I felt a little more comfortable. Welcome to customer service. Pain of dealing with people who are unreasonable and trying to find common ground to help them feel good, but it's stressful. Yes, it is very stressful, and I noticed that people can sometimes be very selfish, but I mean, you're there to have a good time. You're there for a con. You're there to enjoy yourself, and you know, people get distracted. I get distracted and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I was doing this. I'm sorry. So I don't blame people for some of the things they do because it's accidental, but some people just are entitled. But so yeah, I was giving out cards. I had so many different people interact with me. They were really nice. I'm laughing because my cat's walking by. And I saw a lot of really cool cosplays. I have to say though, Spy Family, my lord, there were so many Spy Family cosplays. But you know what's funny? It wasn't Lloyd or it wasn't Anya. It was Yor. There was so many Yor cosplays, so many different renditions. Which I'm not gonna lie, I liked that anime series a lot. So it was really cool seeing all these cosplays. I was telling my friend that there was a dad that was cosplaying Lloyd. He had a really cool cosplay. It was like accurate and very fitting. And then he had a daughter. Like that was his actual daughter. She was cosplaying Anya, and it was adorable because he was interacting with her, and the little girl was like running around, being kid, having fun, interacting with all the different cosplayers, talking to people, and the dad was there, like following her around. And he did this really cute thing where he like picked her up and put her on his shoulders. It's the most cutest thing ever. I was like, oh my god, this is adorable. And as someone that's been cosplaying since like 2008, it's insane how much cosplay has changed. And I honestly really, really dig it. I love how much cosplay has changed because when I was younger, it was really hard to find common ground with people when it came to, anime or video games. But I'm pretty sure everybody who watches this can relate. So to see all this, like just how anime has become mainstream. I mean, there's like a big debate, and I can see both sides. Anime is mainstream, but we get awesome things. We can get awesome design on shirts, merch, and all this stuff. Like things we didn't have access to back when we were younger, or like my generation. I'm not gonna say my age, but anime has changed, and that's really cool. And I love seeing now is families being like anime fans together, like the mom, the dad, and the kids. It's adorable. Most cutest thing ever. So, yes. As for my job itself with Bushiroad for staffing, it was my first time staffing, so it was interesting, but I can't really say there was a lot that I did because all I did was hand out the Chainsaw Man cards. But it was really cool because I was able to see some of my friends. They would come over and say hi, and it's a shame I couldn't really hang out with friends that much this con because I was there working and staffing. So that's one of the things I was very sad about. I couldn't do a lot of shopping. I couldn't do any shopping. I mean, I had 2 30-minute breaks, but working 10 hours straight, it was tiring. So I used my 2 30-minute breaks to just sit down and relax. And it was really cool that I had friends come over and hang out with me during my breaks. So thank you guys. I was gonna go like this as a heart, but I changed my mind, so thank you for hanging out with me. That means a lot. Over on my TikTok at Deceptakitten, I posted up videos of like pictures and like different things that I saw during the con. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check that out. But yeah, so other stories were another thing, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. It was really cool working staffing for the exhibit hall because when I went to other booths, like I had a chance to go to the ARC system booth, people are really friendly and they ask you, hey, how's your experience working at the convention? And then I would ask them. A lot of the vendors that I talked to throughout the entire weekend, they said one thing that they kind of like are sad about is that they didn't really have a lot of time to go to other booths or go shopping, which is understandable because you're working, but it would have been nice, you know? It would have been nice to have like at least go in really early in the morning, like 8 or 7, and then just do some shopping and then start working or even after. But everything was like, you know, you had a certain amount of time to do something and then on to the next thing. Like, well, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but like the last day, oh my God, I felt really bad for a lot of the people that had to break down the booths because they were on a time limit. Now, I don't know how long the time limit was, but they had to like break down boxes and all their sets, like everything that was like posters, displays, cutouts, banners, everything. They had to like knock all of that down, get that packed, and leave as soon as possible. Now, I didn't assist with that stuff because I was just staffing, so I just helped with like, you know, handing out the cards, giving out flyers, telling the customers about promotional stuff. It's funny because for Bushiroad, the only really thing I know for that company is Cardfight Vanguard, so that was the extent of my knowledge. But it was really cool because I had some of the people I worked with, they were sharing their interest about like, was it Bang Dream? There's a series called Bang Dream Girls or something. So they were telling me a little bit about it, and it was really cool. I haven't played Cardfight Vanguard in a very long time. I used to play about 4 years ago, and a couple of times with friends, but I can't say I'm current with the current game style right now. I have a cat coming. My cat's like, "What are you doing?" "Hello, kitty." He might jump up here. But yeah, so it was really cool. I met some really nice people with the people I worked with. I traded like Instagram and Twitter with them. So if you guys see this, hello. It was a pleasure working with you guys. And hopefully we get called back for other events because we had a group chat going with the other employees. And a lot of them were like, "Hey, if you guys want us to come back again, if you guys need help, you know, haha, we're here." So that was really cool. So I can't really say much more like about my con because like I said, for 10 hours all I did were give away cards. They did give us complimentary lunches. It was Okamoto Kitchen. They would give us like a burger that had like a fried egg and a big patty. So we had one every day. It's just funny seeing my cat on camera. So we had one every day for lunch. So one of our 30-minute breaks, we would sit down and eat. And then that was pretty cool. It was really nice. Oh, right. I was talking about the exhibitor badge. Exhibit hall badge. So some companies were really nice. And, you know, we would trade stories. And it was really nice. It was really cool talking to them, talking about the experience. Just a burger, could you change it? It feels like eating something else. No, sadly, all of the food trucks, including Okamoto Kitchen, were slammed. Like every single food vendor, drinks, everything, they were just really busy. That's another thing I was going to talk about. But yeah, so I couldn't change it. Like me personally, I try to stay away from red meat as much as possible, but we can't get what we want, so I have to make do. So if I could have gotten like a chicken sandwich, I would have preferred that. But even the fact that they gave us food is great. I tried a couple of times to buy one of their drinks, but they didn't let me. They were like, "No, sorry, we're really slammed, and we can't sell anything to you because you're getting a free meal." I saw a food truck with 30 to 40 minute wait just to order. Yeah, that was a big thing. Sorry, I'm gonna eat some candy because I'm hungry now. Because I'm talking about food. So that was a really big thing. There was just to order, you had to wait. Excuse me, 30 to 40 minutes, like you said, and maybe even an additional 30 minutes to get your food from the window. Some trucks, some food vendors, as soon as you place the order, they would give you the food, which is pretty cool. But it was just really, it was just always busy. So, my biggest thing about Anime Expo, their lines were kind of messy. But I understand. I understand why they were messy, because a lot of people came to this convention, and I saw on like the Facebook groups for Anime Expo, they kept saying, "Oh, look, the halls are flooded. You can't do this, you can't do that." So yes, the hallways, like the entrance to the artist alley and the exhibit and the entertainment hall, they were flooded. But they would only stay flooded if I mean in the beginning, like just when all the halls are opening up to the public. That is the only time that you saw those sea of people that you've been seeing online. If you follow like the Anime Expo groups on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, a lot of people were posting pictures of how flooded it was. And I've gone on there and said, don't exaggerate. Don't try to deter people away from the convention. I will say though, Artist Alley, forget about it. As much as I love going to Artist Alley, and I've heard this from everybody I talked to that went to the con, it was very difficult to navigate in there. That was a whole big thing because, you know, it was shoulder to shoulder, but you couldn't even move. Like, even the main designated area that is just meant to just walk, and there's no like vendors or like artists there, it was flooded. Because I think, now, like I said earlier in the stream, I didn't have the chance to go that much shopping to Artist Alley or Exhibit Hall or Entertainment Hall, but this is what people were telling me, that I think they had like the voice actors for different series also down there. So it was very hard for them to, I mean, it was sorry, let me retrace. So it was the Artist Alley, and it was also the voice actors like tables. So you had heavy traffic from them, and then also the huge lines to meet some of the voice actors. So I will say that the only time I feel it was really bad was at the beginning of the convention and on day one, because everybody was trying to get in. And day one's always going to be flooded for Anime Expo. It's always going to be really packed. So my advice, if you were to go to Anime Expo, either get to the con super early, like 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, so you're one of the first people to get there, or go, sorry, my cat's sneezing, or go after like 11 or 12. Granted, a lot, if you're there to shop, I highly suggest you go in the morning. If you want to get like the anime exclusive merch, like from different things, your best bet is to go in the morning. But if you just want to walk around, see what's up, see what's new, the booths and all that, I would say go ahead and go after 11 or 12, unless the booths would fill up. Because I know that they were showing off the Star Guardian for Riot. The Star Guardian area would completely cap out really early, like I think before 11 or 12. Let me see, chat. abyssal, but I do feel that I feel there are times to get in line and be civil, but the problem to me was that some people were being told to get away from the blocking when at times they were patiently waiting on the side, but then fire marshals were a bit too much. Yeah. So one thing that I love and hate is that the fire marshals were really on it this year. Um, like Cinnamon was saying, that people were being told to move when it was a designated standing area or lining up area. But some of the fire marshals would be like, no, you need to move no matter what, even if you were in line. And that was okay for them to be there. But it was just an exaggeration that people post online that say, oh, look, it's like really bad and stuff. I will say Artist Alley was really bad in terms of crowds. If you are claustrophobic, if you get anxiety from huge crowds, Artist Alley was your enemy. Artist Alley was not something you should go to. I remember, but it's always been like that. Even before this year, I think it was 2019, 2018. I never get panic attacks. I never get like anxiety from being in small closed areas. But I actually got my first panic attack. I was like, no, I can't be down here. I can't be in this sardine can. I need to leave. And one of my friends, our friend Cinnamon and my friend, he said that he got a really bad panic attack, and he works in customer service. He understands he's okay being in big groups of people, but for some reason, this time around, he did not feel good. So he had to leave the Artist Alley. So I will say, as much as I love Anime Expo, and I not fell in love, but I got an appreciation for it again. So I feel like it's a good con. But one, do not go to that con if you are claustrophobic. If you have any medical conditions where you can't stand for long periods of time, I would highly suggest not going, because you will be standing in line. If you are a person that gets grouchy, emotional, or hangry, whatever the case is, and you don't like heat or standing, do not go to that con. I can recommend so many different other cons, like Anime Los Angeles, Anime Riverside. I believe PMX is coming back. What's another one? Anime Impulse. Like, these are all LA cons, or around the LA area, like Ontario, Pasadena, Los Angeles, Riverside. I'm in that general direction, so that's where I go. So if you're in LA and you're looking for an anime con, there's so many other cons you can go to. If Anime Expo is a treat to go to, it is a good con, but not to be your first con. And not if you're not comfortable in the heat, because I know some people that even like can't breathe in the heat. Let me see. They keep moving people towards the corner or out of the vendor area. They are good to keep crowds moving, but not good at keeping them all organized. Yes. So, sorry, I had chocolate, so I'm coughing a lot. So yeah, like Cinnamon is saying, the lines were pretty bad. I will say that was the con of this con. Ha ha ha. Get it? Joke. Anyways, I would say they need to do better on the lines, because a lot of people would like overlap each other, or like fire marshal would constantly tell people, hey, you can't be standing there, you need to leave. Whatever the case was, a lot of people couldn't like get in line, or they would be told to leave when they were okay to be there. Hi, kitty. Do you want to come up here? He might make an appearance. Anyways, so they were told, hello, my son. So we have a guest. This is Cotton. I don't know how long he's going to stay here for, but they should have limited personnel to let amount of people in, but the venue opened early and later than later times they open and closed. I guess for this time, they did the best they could have done for managing the line. It's definitely a learning experience, and I hope they take that into consideration and they improve the whole line situation. I think the whole badge thing was a pretty good... What are you doing? Sorry, guys. Anyways. But yeah. So I'm struggling to say anything because I'm on half-half on this conversation when it comes to the lines. One half is saying they did their best they could for a convention that has not been open for 2 years. So this was definitely a learning experience. So I feel like we shouldn't judge them that harshly. But on the other hand, they should have anticipated how much people were going to be there. Again, this was a convention that's super popular, and it even got advertised on the TV. It got advertised on billboards all over LA. You knew what you were getting when you started doing this. You knew that there was going to be a huge crowds of people coming. And I feel like they should have managed their line situation a little better. Like, oh, instead of our regular, hypothetically, if you knew 100 people were coming, I mean, if you were trying to shoot for 1,000 people and your lines accommodated a group of 100, it's kind of hard to really, lines were pretty bad. So that was one thing that I will say. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but for Anime Expo, if you do not like the heat, you don't like standing, and you hate lines and waiting 40 minutes to eat or get food or go, anywhere, I wouldn't recommend that con. I would definitely recommend other conventions. But if you want to give Anime Expo a shot, it would be a good idea. I think it was, I actually ended up really liking the con again. There was a period between 2016 and 17 and 18 where I was iffy about the con because it was changing so much, and I feel like they weren't listening to their crowds, their people. And they were very oh, just come in. And there, I think it was 2018 or 2019 where the lines were so bad just to get into the convention that that the lines were going into neighborhoods. I'm very sorry, he's hyper. Son, are you okay? He's hyper. So I think they were trying really hard not to deal with that, and having people line up in neighborhoods just to get into the convention. I believe Cinnamon, if you remember, I think it was 2019, we waited about 2 hours just to get into the convention. So it was great because they capped the con for safety reasons. So we didn't have to deal with the overflow of people. And that wasn't my other issue, is that Anime Expo was just having people come in and not cap it in a safety way where it wouldn't be overcrowded. But this year they did that, and that's why I feel like the lines weren't that bad. But in the beginning, like I said, in the morning of the cons, every day, let me say that again. Every single day from day 1 to day 4, if you're there in the very early morning, you're gonna be waiting 1 to 2 hours just to go into the convention. After that, you're totally fine, with the exception of Artist Alley, because that was a mess Honestly, I feel like they should have capped the entrance of how many people can go in and out of Artist Alley because it was just so congested. They should have kept track of how many people were coming in and out. And once people left, more people can come into the Artist Alley. I was very happy because a lot of artists got a lot of foot traffic and they got a lot of sales, and I'm very glad for that. I've always been a person that I try to support artists as much as possible over like big brand name companies. So my thought, and I feel like everybody does that. Everybody goes to Artist Alley because they want to support their favorite artist. But I was so I don't know if this is true. This was actually told by one of my friends. In Artist Alley, they weren't letting the vendors eat. Like they couldn't have food brought to their table. And I don't know how true that is, but if that was the case, that's so messed up. Because they expected these vendors to not eat all day from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I don't know if that was a rumor, but that's what I was told. Because when I was staffing, one of my friends messaged me and she asked me, oh, I heard that they weren't giving you guys your food. But I was like, no, I got my food. I got my food because I was able to go get it and sit outside and eat it. But if that was true about Artist Alley, that really sucks because they shouldn't be doing that. And they even told me that they ate the food in front of them, but I feel like that's kind of a stretch. It was more time for 2019, but reasons lines were bad because they had an odd way of checking badges to check metal detectors instead of more open lines. There were a few and they shoved to close each big mirror to things were separate to make process yeah. But in 2019 they were trying to get people in and out fast, but it was the opposite effect. They didn't really get anybody in. They had people waiting. In 2019 I actually had a friend that told me she waited 5 hours to get in. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but she sounded very upset because I remember, because she was texting me throughout the period that she was in line. And she told me, hey, I haven't gone in. Is it always this bad? And it was her first time going to Anime Expo, so that one time made her not want to come back to the convention ever again. So it was a shame. But I think that's where the whole LineCon thing came to be. LineCon to the extreme 4 hour, 4 hours wait. So I feel like if there was people that waited 4 hours just to get in, that was really bad in 2019. I had a few friends have the same issues about waiting that long. Yeah, she wasn't happy. She was very upset in 2018 that she waited the 5 hours. And she was in the neighborhoods around the convention center. She was like slowly moving towards the convention, but in the end she was just like, you know what, I can't do this. She's like, I'm leaving, and that kind of left a bad taste in her mouth. Hi, kitty. But yeah, so line management was a big issue, and I really hope that they learned from their mistakes. I think the whole badge process they had with the tapping the cards, I think it was a really good idea. I loved that they mailed out all the badges. I'm sorry, my cat is very hyper. After the stream, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play with my cat because he's hyper. But I felt really bad because, you know, they were just very like tired and grumpy. Oh, hi Kenchi, thank you for joining the stream. Yeah, in 2019 that was true. One friend took 4 hours to get in day one. Yes, yeah, that was like I was saying earlier, I just felt really bad for the people that did that. Me and Cinnamon went to 2019 and it took me about 2 hours just to get in. And it was really hot. I feel like 2019 Expo was a lot hotter than this year, but again, I was staffing this year, so I didn't have to wait in line. So if you guys did go this year, I would like to hear how the lines were, because I want to hear your side of the story. I want to hear how you guys had to wait in line. I did say earlier in the stream that if you were there to do shopping, like exclusive Anime Expo items, I would suggest to go there as early as 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning, just to line up. But if you're super chill and you just want to hang out and like, if you just want to hang out or check out the exhibits, anytime after 12 was a good time. That's how I would suggest someone to do Anime Expo. Ouch, 4 hours. We got in line before they even opened dealer's hall. Yeah, it was. That's my suggestion. Parking was also another madness. Thankfully, I stayed with my brother, which lives really close to the convention, so I didn't have to deal with parking this year. But I can only imagine the nightmare that was. Some of the staff that worked with me with Bushiroad, they said they would get there. They had to be there like 45 or 30 minutes before 9 o'clock just to find parking. And mind you, this was like 8:30, so they had to be there at 7:30 essentially, just to find parking. It's funny because a lot of the times we were kind of late, not super late, maybe 10 minutes late for our shifts because parking was so bad. It took me about an hour day one in 2019. Yeah, I have to say 2019 was, excuse my language, it was kind of a shit show. For sure, definitely. I feel like that's where a lot of the horror stories started for Anime Expo. But I feel like they did a little better this year. But again, I wasn't, I was staffing, so I don't know what you guys went through if you guys went to Anime Expo this year. But yeah, I did have a chance to go run to Entertainment Hall and check out some of the exhibits. It seemed like Entertainment Hall, because I was in Exhibit Hall. Entertainment Hall, it looked like it was pretty chill. It didn't look like it was super overcrowded. I do remember seeing that Riot had their Star Guardian display area, and that was always packed. And the Fate Grand Order also had a booth there, and they were also, I know those are very popular, so I know there was always traffic there. But I was only there for like about 30 minutes. Like, I only went during my lunch breaks when I was working there. But yeah, I mean, to recap, if you are going to go to Anime Expo, just be aware that if you don't like being in the heat, in the lines, and you get claustrophobic, it's not the best convention to go to for the first time. Any other convention I would recommend to somebody, but not Anime Expo. If you feel like taking the risk of going to Anime Expo, I recommend it. I mean, I liked it, even just seeing the displays and everything, the setups that they had. They had some really cool setups, like what was it? Oh my god, Hoyoverse. Hoyoverse had an amazing setup. But they were also advertising Honkai Impact. They literally took up a good portion of the exhibit hall. The exhibit hall's huge. So, like, if this was exhibit hall, they were literally taking this part of it. I mean, there was so many other things around it, but some of the displays were freaking amazing. It was showing a lot of games to play, which was nice to play, but the scenarios for photo booths were big lines. Yeah, honestly, that was the thing I was very upset about, because the photo booths, like the photo shoot areas, I love going to those because they have like the Japanese train, they have the cherry blossom display, they have the post-apocalyptic. They have so many different scenes where you can take pictures, like cosplay or not. Hi, Nene. Welcome to the stream. Hello. We're just here chatting, talking about Anime Expo. But even during my 30-minute break, and I went to the entertainment hall, I saw that all the displays were constantly always packed, and that really sucks because it's really cool place to take pictures, especially if you're a cosplay or just wanting to take a cool, either like a funny picture or whatever the case is. It's a good place to go there, but yeah, definitely have to say that I'm glad they capped the con, but even with the cap, it was still overcrowded. I feel like they should have limited, I don't know. I would say limit the amount of people that come in and out of the entertainment hall, the exhibit hall, and artist alley, because it was constantly always packed. But I'm not sure if that's a good idea, because then what happens to the overflow? What happens to the other people that are outside waiting to come in? That means the walkways and the halls and everything are just jam-packed, and I don't know. I feel like maybe they should keep their cap lower so they don't overflow with people, which sucks because that means less attendees. Hello, kitty. Do you want to come up here? Sorry, guys. My cat's really hyper. I don't know what they plan to... Oh, that was another thing I wanted to talk about. I did not expect what they announced on the last day. They basically ended up splitting Anime Expo into... This is my cat Cotton. They ended up splitting Anime Expo for another time slot. So what I mean by that, sorry, my cat's distracting me. So there's gonna be like an Anime Expo 2.0 in November. I believe November 12th and 13th. I could be wrong. Let me check. No, I'll check later. But you can look it up if you're very curious. I feel like that's a good idea because Anime Impulse did that, I saw first that Anime Impulse splits their conventions into 2 different time slots of the year. So there's one in January, and there's also one in September for Anime Impulse. Hello, Neko-chan. Hola, hello. But yeah, I feel like the decision of splitting Anime Expo to 2 different times of year is a good idea, because I feel like that would help with the congestion of Expo in July, and kind of migrate some of the people to go into November, kind of splitting the big crowds into 2. So we'll see what happens there. If I can, I would love to attend and see how that goes, because it'll be the first time. Stop it, kitty. It'll be the first time this year that they do that. Why are you being a brat? No, kitty. I put the shirt on him because he's being a brat. What is up with you? Come on, go. Shoot. He's like pawing at me and he wants to play. I promise I'll play with you after the stream. But yeah, I think it's really cool, but I honestly didn't expect them to do that. I didn't expect them to split the convention into 2 different times of the year. I think it's a good idea, and I really hope that it helps with the whole overcrowding situation that we had this year. Definitely keep the cap of how many badges can be sold. I feel like that helped prevent what happened in 2019, where it took you 4 to 5 hours just to come in into the convention center. In 2019, we're not talking about it took you an hour and a half to like go to everything inside the convention. No, just to get into the convention, you needed to wait 3 to 5 hours. So I feel like it was better this year, but again, I don't know how the lines were outside. It looks like they moved relatively quickly. Another thing that I ended up seeing is that towards the end, like once you're done with the day, in order to leave the convention, you had to tap your badge just to get out of the building, which I know they do for security reasons, that they want to keep track of how many people are coming in and out. So I think it was a pretty good idea. So definitely keep that system going. But yeah, I mean, that was pretty much what I had to say about Anime Expo. If you guys have questions or want recommendations on conventions, you guys can ask me here on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Those are my main social medias for just to talk. I want to promote my Discord, but to be honest, I don't really use Discord. I will try to get back into it, but it's very hard when a lot of, there's not a lot of stuff to work with. Like, so that's why I don't really use Discord. But if you guys have any questions or want to ask me stuff about conventions, and even anime, just talk about anime and just cosplay, I'm more than happy, because those are my two favorite things. This year the line moved easier, just day one was hard to get in due to the fire marshal issue posted on Twitter. Yes. So as Kenichi Senpai, I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, said we had the fire marshal close down the con for a second. I don't really remember. I think it was like a couple of hours or just 30 minutes. I could be wrong. For day one, because again, day one it was just a lot of people. So I'm glad to hear though that the lines moved quickly to come into the convention, because that has been an issue in the past. We did, like I said earlier in the stream, when I was working at the Bushiroad booth, we constantly were always packed, constantly. And I felt really bad because a lot of people wanted to come in and check out our products and wanted to like shop. But I felt really bad because there was like this one person on day 2. He was literally doing laps. I'm not gonna lie, I think he kept doing laps in the Bushiroad booth around it, I want to say for an hour. So much so that we were kind of like joking, like, hey, it's good to see you. And we were just like making a joke out of it. And then there was a couple times where he would stop and be like, hey, what's the situation? I'm like, unfortunately, I don't know. But since the line was like right next to me, automatically anything beyond past where I was standing was a no. That was against like fire regulations or safety regulations. I'm sorry. So I felt really bad. Eventually, he ended up going into our booth, but there was a lot of limited items, so I don't know if he got what he needed, but hopefully he did. The fire marshal kind of made things difficult. They are not to handle crowds. Yeah, true. They don't know how to handle crowds. Yeah, that was the biggest complaint for sure. The lines inside. I even spoke to a security. Her name was Frances. Favorite person. Loved her. She worked for security for the LA Convention Center. She was a very sweet person. She helped one of the people I was working with learn how to deal with big crowds, because I felt really bad for him. He had no experience in customer service or working with people in general, so she was teaching him little tricks, but she was very stern with a lot of the customers and a lot of the attendees that they could not block the walkways. So it's definitely a difficult situation when it comes to the lines, because it's like they didn't allow, some booths didn't allow the space for how much volume of people that would go. So like, what I mean is, like, if this is your booth size, half of that booth size, I don't know if I'm saying that right, should be able to accommodate the kind of volume and crowds you're gonna get. So like, if you're Bandai Namco or Bushiroad or Atlas or Arc System Works, these are big name, these are big named companies. So you should know how much people you're gonna get. So instead of having your entire booth filled up, you should, like, your space, the space they were renting, half of it should be able to accommodate the crowd that's gonna come by. They know how to move crowds, which is great, but don't understand how lines work. Yeah, definitely. So they were not prepared for the lines. Definitely something I'm gonna I hope they changed, because the problem this year wasn't even getting into the convention. It was once you're inside, it was hard to do anything because you couldn't really do much. You either had to be in line for 40 minutes to an hour or 2 hours depending on where you went. And I was heartbroken that I couldn't go into Artist Alley. I love original work from people, and the fact that they had such a hard time, like, having people come in and out, and a lot of people couldn't go into Artist Alley because of that. The whole the fire marshal thing, I don't really know the details of it, because I know that happened in the front, but they did lock the convention center down for a bit so they can manage the whole line. So that was definitely something crazy. I think that's pretty much it. I do have a bag of stuff that I was able to get, or people bought for me, because I was working the booth, so I couldn't really do much. So I wanted to share some of the things that I got. So I did show this earlier. This shirt was the shirt I was wearing for staffing. So this is the shirt I wore, and this is the back of it. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. Going back to working or staffing for Bushiroad, I had a lot of fun, and I really, really want to do it again if possible. It was a good crowd of people. I liked what I did. It was funny because the person in charge of the staff for Bushiroad would call me Chainsaw Man Girl, because I was giving away the Y Shorts cards. I mean, I don't have the Chainsaw Man card, but these are the cards that they were giving away. For those who just joined the stream, those were the cards that we're giving away at the booth. I don't have the Chainsaw Man card. Luckily, I was Hannah's ADA handler, so we get to jump to the front of the line. That's cool. That's very cool. I'm glad you say, how was your experience? I'm very curious. Or I don't know if you have a video or if you talked about it in a past stream. I genuinely want to know how you and Hannah's convention was, because I did see your pictures and I did see some of the things, but my biggest issue is that online, like the Facebook groups and stuff, they kept making the con seem really bad, which this year was not bad. I really liked this year. I've said it before in the stream earlier. 2019, I would have to say, was the worst year, only because, again, you had to wait 3 to 5 hours just to get into the convention center. But I feel like, I don't know, I really fell in love with Anime Expo again this year. It was really cool. It was pretty fun. We didn't line up super early. How early did you guys line up? I know they opened at 9, but maybe 7? I'm curious. But I didn't have to deal with the really super long lines either, which I'm very thankful for. Yeah, me too. I'm glad I have ADA as well. I was able to jump the lines with my best friend Irene. Very cool. I'm glad. So by the time we got there, the line was practically gone. That's very cool. I'm glad you guys didn't have to wait in those super long lines. I did get sunburn on the day 0 because we had to walk around and go get our COVID wristbands and our badges. So I did get a little bit of sunburn, so not sure if I was the only one or not. I doubt it though. Well, I was not, as much as I'm a big Genshin Impact fan, I was not able to go to the Hoyoverse booth. So I couldn't do a lot of shopping, but my fiance was able to grab me some things. But funny story, so on the last day of the con, let me show this. On the last day of the convention, on my last 30-minute break, I was running around. I went to the Atlas booth and the Hoyoverse booth because I really wanted to see what they have because I'm a big Persona 3, 4, and 5 fan. And also, I'm really into Genshin Impact. So I was trying to see what I can get in the 30 minutes that I had for break. So Atlas, unfortunately, was completely sold out of a lot of stuff that I wanted. They still had some things, but nothing I wanted. Hoyoverse, oh my goodness, that was crazy. When I got there, the line was capped, and the person in charge told me, "Hey, if you're working for Bushiroad, go ahead and come back at 3, which was on Monday, and you can probably buy some stuff." So unfortunately, I couldn't. Once I got there, the people in charge of the LA Convention Center were screaming at all the vendors. Were screaming at everybody to close down, stop handing out stuff, pack up their stuff. I feel like they were really pressuring all of the vendors to close down really quickly, and I felt really bad because they were trying to get people out, and it was just creating a lot of pressure. So me personally, I couldn't buy anything, but one of the really nice people at the booth gave me this, so I was very happy about that. It's a really nice poster too. So and let me look at chat real quick. The crowds were still a bit of an issue. I'm hoping they cap the attendees down further in the future. Yes, that's what I was saying earlier too. I really hope they lower the cap more so it's less people and we won't have this line issue again. Especially to get in. I got in line around 9. That's true. Crowds were still an issue this year. Yeah, that was definitely the biggest complaint this year. Was once you were inside, you had a really hard time to do anything because you had to wait in line so much. Okay, so oh, this is another thing they gave me at the booth as a freebie. That was very cute. I'm very happy I got these because it's so pretty. I love that series so much. I'm curious about AX in Ontario. I am too. I was mentioning earlier. Hello, Kotetsu. Welcome to the swing. I was telling chat earlier that I'm actually very happy that they made it 2.0 for Anime Expo in Ontario. I love the Ontario Convention Center. When Anime Los Angeles was there, I think it was the best thing ever because they had so many hotels around the convention. So it was just a walking distance. You didn't have to drive. You didn't have to worry about parking if you were staying in the surrounding hotels. So I love the fact that they decided to bring Anime Expo 2.0 to Ontario. So I'm very excited about that. A buddy of mine had each day plan what to buy him. We missed a lot of panels, events, unless they were 6 p.m. Told me Friday things were all kept. Yes, don't even get me started on that. So the biggest selling point I feel this year was the Vishojo. I hope I'm not saying that wrong. I hope I'm saying that right. And Trash Taste. my goodness, I feel like everybody at the convention was super excited about the Trash Chase Boys and the VTubers, which is cool. I mean, I noticed, so I don't know how long they did this, but one of the days, they had the VTubers streaming, and they had like a little moving station. So a group of tech people would push the cart around, and the VTuber was there. I thought that was so crazy to me. It's so cool that you can do stuff like that. So they had like VTubers around the exhibit hall just walking around, but that created an issue. That created a crowd issue because people were stopping, trying to chat with the VTuber and trying to do so many different things, and it was just very difficult to keep the crowds moving along because they were so busy with that. It was definitely the lion thing was definitely an issue. And as you said earlier, I hope they lower the whole cap more so less people would go, so we can just go and enjoy the con. It's been very convenient. Definitely, it's definitely a better location for AX in my opinion. Hotels around the convention is nice. Yeah, I am very much looking forward to Anime Expo. I don't know if it's Anime Expo Light or Anime Expo 2.0, but either way, I'm very glad they did that. I was sad when they moved Anime Los Angeles to Long Beach because I really like the Ontario Convention Center. So to know that Anime Expo now is here, is in Ontario, that's really cool. I heard it's more life than anything. It's more life than anything, or do you mean like light? Or I'm not really sure I understand that. But light. There you go. I figured that's what you meant. But no, yeah, it was. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. I hope they do better next year. But let's see with Anime Expo Light. I'm very excited for that. Hopefully I can go, and it's only 2 days, so it shouldn't be that bad. Sorry, no, you're fine. Let me continue. Go ahead and showing you guys what I got at the convention or what I could get. So, a lot of you don't know, but some of you do. I am a huge, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Also, rest in peace, Kazuki Takahashi. That was very upsetting to hear, but I don't want to get emotional. I grew up playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I transferred over to Cardfight Vanguard. So I was able to get these standees. Let me get the other one. That they were selling at the Bushiroad booth. So I was able to get my 2 favorite characters. They didn't have Asuka though. If you know that I like Asuka, they didn't have a standee for her. Or even Misaki. At least at the booth, so I couldn't get. These are the only 2 that I chose to get. So I got that. Goldman, you couldn't get everything you wanted. No, it's fine. I knew when I decided to take the job for staffing, that was going to be the case. But I definitely wanted something different because I've always been an attendee, so I wanted to try something different. I always try to do something new because I want the experience and I want like the skill in life. I do that with everything. So, in life, there's a trade-off. If you do this, this might happen, but it's okay. I saved money, so I didn't spend money. I feel really bad because one of my coworkers actually spent a lot of money, but she had a good time. So shopping is fun, especially for anime merch. All right, let's see what else is in the bag. Oh, are these it? I think these are it. Okay. So, 3 of the guys that I was working with in the Bushiroad booth, they were trying to pull for, these acrylic character keychains. So I was able to pull him. It's like a little gotcha. This is the wrapper. and you it's like a blind box. You don't know what you're gonna get. So I was able to pull him, and I got another character. I am watching Vanguard Overdressed, but I'm on episode 1. I'm sorry, episode 9 of the new season. So I'm still getting used to the characters. This is not the one I wanted. Let's see, is she in here? This is not. Where's the other one? If I find it, I'll show you guys. Increase your RL DND stats. Yeah, basically. That's what I like to do. I don't know. I'm a weirdo. I like exploring different things and trying new things and see if I like it. That's true. I heard you save a lot of money staffing. Yes, you definitely do. And I love that they feed you. Free food is always good. That sucks. I forget to stop by your Bushiroad. It's okay. I mean, actually, I had a lot of friends that couldn't make it to the Bushiroad booth because of the lines, but also because of panels. People wanted to do other things. It's totally understandable. It's totally fine. I was very happy to see the people that I could see, but you know what, Kenichi Senpai, I'm very happy that seeing people having a good time at the con, posting pictures, having opinions. I don't know. That's why I joined the cosplay scene, because I like seeing people have fun, and especially when it comes to anime and video games, because that's always been a big part of my life. But yes, one of the girls I was staffing with actually gave me a gift. It was like a goodbye gift. I am very sorry, I don't know this series, but she bought me this. I know it's a Bushiroad. It's a series from Bushiroad, but I don't know who she is. It says is Yamato Maya. That's who it is. I don't know what the series is from, but I told her thank you. She didn't have to buy me anything, but she was very sweet, and she really liked working with Bushiroad, or working with everybody. It was a good crowd. I really liked the people I worked with. Everybody was super nice, and it was a good experience. So another thing I was able to get, if you know about Cardfight Vanguard, I am a big Pale Moon fan, and I was able to get this really cool magnet frame of Luke here, but she looks really cool. So in the back, you can't really see. Oh, there you go. You can, next to my finger, there's like magnets. So it actually becomes like a frame too. Let me try to open it and see. I was actually gonna I forgot to take it to work this week. I was actually gonna display it at my job because I really like it. Oh yeah, so it can stand up. These are the little legs. So it kind of becomes like a frame. But it has magnets, so I can also put it like on a desk or something. So that's really cool. I'm gonna take this as well as my Kai and Ren acrylic stands. I love that I can express my weeb anime fan at my job because no one judges me. Because a lot of the people I work with are anime fans, or like, well, they like American cartoons. Like they're a fan of Street Sharks and like Gargoyles and Spider-Man, all that stuff. But they also know anime and stuff. So it's really cool. I've never had a job where they're also anime fans and I don't feel isolated. So that's really cool. Stand up here, Vanguard. Alright, so what else do we have in this bag of wonders? Oh, okay. So also, my fiance was able to buy me something at the Genshin booth. So they gave him a cute little bag. Look at that. It's adorable. I love it. It makes me so happy. I never want to use it. I just want it to keep it because I like stuff like that. And then I can put my other stuff in here. I'm gonna have a mess of stuff all over my desk once I'm done. She's a character from Bandori Bang Dream. Yes, thank you, Kenichi Senpai. I'm very glad you looked it up. Because I didn't know who she was, but she was like, she bought all the girls that she was working with. she bought gifts for all the girls. It was like little gotcha keychains. So it was really sweet of her. Like I said, I really liked the group I worked with, and I hope we get to work together again or even hang out at cons. This was the book that was given. It's pretty cool. I won't show what's the inside of it because it's a lot. It's a thick book. It's really big. It's a lot. It's a program guide. Did I just hit puppy? Oh, I thought I saw a puppy. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. Alright, so that's what else? I know I'm missing some stuff, but got some advertising. What is this? Universes? It looks like a My Hero Academia card game. I didn't get that. I think it was probably Honor who got that card, because some of Honor's stuff is in here. There's a lot of things in here. Okay, anyways, glad to help a close friend. Yes, thank you. I really appreciate it, especially right now because I'm streaming and I can't really do much. So there's a lot of little things. Excuse me. So we're gonna go one by one. I was also able to get this child or Tartaglia acrylic keychain. It's pretty cool. It's really sturdy. It's really thick too. So that was another item that was given to me because I wasn't able to make it to the booth. What's in the bag? Next up, we have another acrylic keychain of Mr. Zhongli. Mr. Rex Lapis. That was another item that was grabbed for me. Oh. I don't know if I should show this, but I mean, I'm very this is me. This is who I am. And I mean, if you know me very well and if you've known me for a long time, I like the whole BL thing. So they got me a little gift. Disclaimer, if you don't like BL, look away, go away, because I'm gonna show this. It's not hardcore, it's tasteful, but ta-da, it's an acrylic. This is not something I will have at my desk at work because I will get in trouble. But let me show the artist card in case you guys want to check out her work. I'm pretty sure she has other things, but like I said, I didn't go to her booth, so I'm not really sure. So this is the artist, if you're curious. This is the back. She has a Patreon, a Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you want to check it out. And but yeah, so she was the one, or they are the one who created this. And I'm going to keep that at home because I will not get fired for BL stuff. Okay, next bag. Surprise. Okay, so I really like Lisa, so I was able to get an acrylic stand. I like a lot of characters in Genshin, and I feel like Genshin is going to take up a lot of my stuff. Look how pretty she is. I also have the, let me see if I can reach him. Go but don't fall. I have a Tartaglia one. Can you tell I'm a Tartaglia fan? I have that one, and then Zhongli is all the way over there, and I cannot reach him. So, unfortunately, I cannot show him right now. But if I can, I'll show him at a different time. But yes, let's go back to Miss Lisa. Look how beautiful she is. I love Lisa. I wish she was strong. I mean, you can make her strong. It's just going to be very, very difficult to make her very strong. I'm putting some of the stuff away so I don't lose some of it. Plus, my desk is getting a little crowded. Of course, plus you don't want to mess it up. Yes, that's very true. And if you worked an office job, I feel like whenever you have something displayed at your job, people will, oh, what's that? Oh, what's this? Oh, can you explain what this is? It's like, I don't want to explain my BL to you guys. Leave me alone. I'm working. Next item. He also got me a Shao acrylic stand. Little baby Shao. Adepti Shao. He's so cute. I wasn't a big fan of him in the very beginning, but if you guys play Genshin Impact, they had an event recently that was heavily like story based off of him. So they showed his character a little more. And I ended up appreciating him. Little baby Shao. Try not to mess up anything. This is just a card advertisement for Hyperdimensional Neptunia. I think I'm saying that right. I hope I'm saying that right. What else is in the bag? Oh, another card. Boop, boop, boop. What else is in here? An advertisement for Cardfight Vanguard. Is it Will Dress? They changed the name? I can't keep up with the series. I'm barely like on episode 9 of Overdress. And now they changed it to Will Dress. But I have to say, I really love the company that took over Cardfight Vanguard. I love the way they make their characters. They're very visually pretty. I mean, it's the same people who, Clam? I hope I'm saying that right. They are in charge of the art for that, and I'm loving it. Next item. Oh. What the fluff? Oh no, I didn't show. I thought I already showed you. The green threw me off. Another acrylic stand is Venti. Venti the Bard. The Wind Boy. Funny story with Venti. I wasn't a big fan when I got him. It was just like a 110 pull. And when I got him, I was like, what am I going to do with this? He ended up being a very useful character in my team until Kazuha came out. Which, just so you guys know, if you play Genshin Impact, Kazuha is coming out on Tuesday. So, save your... I was going to say save your Saint Quartz. Save your Primo Gems. Next item. Oh, I think this is the one I was going to show earlier in the stream. Ah, there it is. Okay. So this was the other character for Cardfight Vanguard. Overdressed. I don't know who she is. Dragon Empire. She's a new character, so I haven't gotten to her yet, but she's very cute. She's very pretty. So I have a feeling I might like her once I see her in the anime series, but we shall see. Is there anything else? They gave us lanyards, which in the beginning they didn't really have lanyards. Oh, here you go. So this is the lanyard they gave out as well. You know what's funny? I didn't actually look at the lanyard, but if you see right here, oh, see, mic is in the way. It says right there, Anime Expo, Ontario. I'm surprised a lot of people didn't really say anything before they mentioned it. Like, oh, you know, why does it say Ontario? But it's really cool. I'm looking forward to that. What else do we have in here? Oh, we're coming down to the end of the bag. Okay. I was able to check out the booth for Skullgirls. I was a really big fan of Skullgirls, so I grabbed a card of Miss Valentine. I love her. She's amazing. Put that in the bag. And the last two items are pins from Genshin Impact. We got Barbara and Lisa. Nope. Not Lisa. Jean. Barbara and Jean. The sisters. It's very cute. They're very cute pins. I'm very happy I got them. So, the swag bag they gave for Expo was this one. I love that they put Attack on Titan there. That is such a cool bag. I'm very happy with this side. And then, unfortunately, I don't know what this series is, but that's the other side of the bag. I don't know what that is, actually. That's Kodansha? Kodashi. Eden's Zero is what it says. Not for sale. Oh wow, how kawaii. Yes. I really like this side. I'm very happy with this one. Eden Zero, yes. That's what I saw on the bottom of the text. So I was able to figure that out. But thank you. Oh, once again, in case you just joined the stream, these were the two I don't have the Chainsaw Man cards. But these were the cards that were being given away free. I cannot speak anymore. It is 11:30 and my English is going away. Let's see. Same people who made Fairy Tale. It really does look like Fairy Tale style. I wanted to show the Chainsaw Man cards because I don't have the card. Isn't that something funny? The fact that I don't have the card I was giving out the entire weekend. Okay, so this was a picture that I took at the convention. That was the Chainsaw Man cards. You know what's funny? I got a lot of really good reactions for this. A lot of people were super excited about Chainsaw Man. It looks really good. It looks interesting, and it's the same people who animated Jujutsu Kaisen is working on it. It's gonna be a freaking masterpiece. I was a really big fan of Jujutsu Kaisen. Really big fan. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think I have anything else. So let me see. Closing thoughts. We're gonna end this stream and I want to go over what we talked about. I would definitely staff again, even if it wasn't with Bushiroad, even with just a different company. It was a lot of fun. It was cool. You get to meet really cool people. Standing for 10 hours was very difficult, but we made it. We did it. Oh, my steps were really off the chart too. I have my Fitbit, so I was counting my steps, and that it was high up there. Then it's gonna be a good series. It definitely is. I feel like it's gonna be a very good series. A lot of people are cosplaying from Chainsaw Man. A lot of people, and it was really cool because when I was giving away the cards for that series, a lot of the cosplayers were like super excited, and it was cool. That's what I like to see. People just having a really good time. It's really, I think it's cute. I think when people get really excited or passionate over something, it brings me joy. It just makes me so happy. But yes, I would definitely staff again. Anime Expo really needs to work on the lines. And I feel like the only solution to that would be to cap, sorry, I'm putting away the stuff, to cap the attendee line even more. They did a good job this time around, but they definitely need to cap it one more time. Hi, Cinnamon. Thank you for the hydration. I've been talking a lot. I'm surprised I've been doing this for an hour and for almost 40 minutes. I'm very proud of myself. I remember when I first started streaming, I was an awkward person. I was very awkward. I was just very shy. I'm just a very shy person in general. And that was another reason why I started Twitch streaming, because I'm trying to get over my fear of, don't fold, of being more, like being able to talk to people a little more, like kind of improve my social skills a little bit and public speaking. Why do I want to learn those skills? Just because I like being a jack of all trades. I like doing a little bit of everything, and I feel like because I'm shy, I have a hard time making friends, because I can't carry a conversation. So I feel like doing this really helps me out being able to speak. But sometimes I trip on my words because I get nervous or shy. Like when I look at myself in the camera, I'm like, don't make eye contact. I am a weird person. Anyways, moving on. For Anime Expo, as I said earlier, if you do not like heat, 100-degree weather, humidity, you're claustrophobic, you have medical conditions that you can't stand for a long time or be in the heat for a long time, I would not recommend Anime Expo for you. Because my cat has been going around, so you guys kind of see him over here. I am a very big advocate of taking care of yourself, your mental health and your physical health. So if you know that you can't do certain things, don't put yourself in danger. Don't put yourself at risk. Know your limits. It's good to push your limits, but just kind of read your body. Like if you know that something you're not feeling good, or if you know that this is going to be too much, don't take the risk. But if you are curious about Anime Expo, go for a day. I would recommend going on a Friday or Sunday because Saturday is really bad. You know what? Scratch that. Don't go on a Friday. It was really bad. I mean, that's when the whole fire marshal closed down the convention for a little bit just to, control the whole crowds that were in there. But if you were going to go one day, I would definitely go either third or fourth day, which is a Sunday or a Monday, because I feel like a lot of the bulk of the traffic ends up not being there. I completely went over this topic. So on day 3, which was Saturday night, I was able to check out the Lounge 21, which was Persona themed, celebrating the 25 years of Persona. And it was really cool because on TikTok there is a DJ that I really like. His name is Alex Cadet Music. Let me pull up his... Okay, so this is his TikTok. I have always loved going to the cons. I always like going to the dances. I am not a good dancer, but I love the whole vibe of dancing and hanging out with friends. And when I've gone to shows in the past, it's very hard to find a DJ that knows how to incorporate anime music and, and make a good sound, good song out of it. Kind of do their own twist. So this DJ, I really liked what he did because he did an amazing job with all the music for Persona 3, 4, and 5. Those are the only games I've played. But he did an amazing job mixing the music, and the entire set that he was working, that he DJ'd, everybody was always dancing. Everybody was having a good time. And the atmosphere for the lounge, let me pull up a video real quick and just play it while I'm talking to you guys. So, let me pull it up here. There's no sound, but this was how it looked. It was really cool. They had the stands for the main characters out. If you guys want to check out the video and hear the sound, it's on my TikTok. Deceptakitten. But that was the inside of the lounge. It was really cool. There was a sitting area, and in the corner, there's a place you can get like alcohol drinks. And that was the DJ doing his thing. And they had like different like cutscenes of the series, like the game intros, the outros and stuff playing. And it was just really cool. I had a really good time. And I was very happy that I was able to catch his show when it came to DJing. I hope he goes to another con that's around me because it was so good. Actually, to get into the dance, I think I waited 45 minutes. Hello, kitty. I think I waited 45 minutes to get into the dance. I got there, I think, at 10, and I lied. I think it was like an hour and a half just to get in, but it didn't feel that long because the people we were lined up with, we were just talking and just like hanging out. But I got there at 10, and I think we didn't get in there till 11:30. That was pretty late already, but that's another thing you have to consider. If you want to do the night scene at a con, you need to pace yourself. That's another thing I would recommend. But if you know dancing and late night hangouts aren't your thing, then you're perfectly fine just going to the con during the day. But yeah, it was really cool. So I talked about that. I talked about it. I can't believe I didn't talk about the dance at all until just now. But yeah, I mean, overall, the con was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm glad everybody like Kenichi Senpai, Yusei, and Cinnamon had a really good time going to the convention. I would recommend it to people, but you know, just so you are aware, you will be standing and you will be hot the entire time. Disclaimer. I can't keep stressing that enough because I felt like during the weekend, a lot of people online were complaining about that. But it's like you should know what you're dealing. You should know. You should expect. You should know what that this is gonna happen. And even with this knowledge, if you choose to go, I mean, I don't see the logic in complaining. It's like you chose to go. And don't rain on other people's parades. My biggest thing is a lot of people were quick to judge and be like, oh, well, it sucks that you had to wait that long and you weren't having a good time. And it's like, no, people had a good time. People enjoyed themselves despite the heat, despite waiting in line for a very long time. Don't, you know, don't rain on people's parades. We already have a lot going on in life. We have a lot of crap we have to deal with. And when we have escapes like video games or cons or like hanging out, anime, whatever the case is, even if you're into like other things like cars or something, don't don't make people feel bad for having a good time. As for the whole COVID thing, you know, just be careful. Wear your mask at all times. Take it off and eat and drink when you're not around people. And always sanitize. I mean, I tested myself for COVID and thankfully I'm negative. It's all, you know, a lot of people aren't going to cons either because they're worried about COVID, which is valid. It's very valid. But if you've been wanting to do something, just take extra precautions. Wear a double mask. Sanitize often. You know, if you're going to eat or drink, make sure it's far away from crowds. Yeah, especially waiting for panels. Yeah, panels, I can't even imagine for panels. I was very upset I couldn't make it to the 5th annual Fate Grand Order panel celebration because I've really been a bit, can't speak. I've been a very big fan of the Fate Grand Order series, and this was the first time I actually missed it. So, but it was really cool to see people going and all that, and I imagine the lines were huge for that. But the trash taste boys, oh my goodness, it's like the entire con was revolving around that. It was really cool that people were having a good time, and I know because I listened to that podcast, and they're cool. They're very entertaining, and I enjoy their topics, and everybody has their own like thing, and I can see why it's so appealing. Hello, kitty. Sorry, I'm very distracted. My cat. It's 11:30, and my cat, Mona, she kind of comes to me and she's like, "Hey, it's time to go to bed. What are you doing so late?" But yeah, but I didn't go to the trash taste panels, but if you guys did, let me know. Let me know how that went because I did not. I can only imagine it was very packed. I know they had a Chainsaw Man panel as well, but I don't remember how that was. One of the attendees actually told me they didn't really announce anything new. They didn't really show a new trailer or a release date for the anime. They kind of just wanted to introduce the anime to everybody and kind of get it in everybody's radar. So, I feel like that's what they did with that panel. Am I forgetting anything else? Panels were streamed online. You could check out AX Lite so you may find the panel you want to see. Awesome. Thank you for telling me that. That's so cool. I'm definitely going to check it out because I was very sad that I missed the Fate Grand Order one, but hopefully they have that archived. I'll definitely do that. Thank you, Kenichi Senpai. But yeah, overall, good con, great con, would recommend. You meet a lot of, you know what, that's another thing. A lot of people were very sweet, very kind. It's so diverse. You know, it doesn't matter your skin color, your body type. Everybody was very interactive. Everybody was happy about what you were cosplaying. Or like even just repping like anime merch and stuff, like outfits and stuff. It was really cool. And the scene has changed. It's changed since I started back in 2008. And even going forward, it's just changed so much and it's really cool. And I'm glad the anime is more accepting. I saw a few panels I missed or couldn't make it streaming on AX. That's so cool. And I'm glad they did that. I'm glad that they streamed their panels online because it sucks for the people that couldn't make it or even people that can't go because of the whole COVID situation. Whatever the reason is, a lot of people couldn't make it. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream for tonight. This was my first time doing a just chatting stream, so I was very nervous because like I said earlier, I'm not very good at public speaking. I try to be better at it, and I feel like I circle talk. But honestly, it was just a really chill, it was a very chill stream. I love that you guys were talking to me and giving your feedback about Anime Expo. I gave you guys my thoughts of what I think of the con. My experience staffing for Bushiroad was really good. I really enjoyed it and I would definitely do it again. I noticed that Tool Peoples were more chill this year. Oh, I noticed that too. Sorry, I have my phone here and it has chat so I can like look down and see your guys' messages, and I misread something. I noticed that too. People were more chill this year. Yeah, that was one thing I was very sorry. I'm very happy that people were very nice, very accepting, and you know what made me happy? Seeing a lot of families, a lot of anime fan families. It's very cute because, like I said earlier, anime has changed so much from when I was younger, and it's more accepting, and people that are in my generation have families now, so they can introduce their love for anime to everybody. You had a good time. Yes, I had a good time. I really did, and I'm glad you had a good time, Kenichi Senpai. I'm very glad because I feel like anime cons are very it's a good escape from the real world and what we go through every day. Like, I felt very sad once I had to go back to work and live a normal life again, and it just made me want to go to cosplay events more and just hang out with friends. But let me see. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I had a good time. Okay, have a good night. Sorry for joining late. I hope you have a good night. No, it's okay. I totally understand. Honestly, anybody who just walks by or passes by the stream, I really appreciate. Good night, Nene. Good night, Cinnamon. Thank you so much for hanging out, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the topics. I always encourage people to try cosplay or going to anime cons because it's fun. You'll meet a lot of friends. Ironically, I actually met Cinnamon and a lot of our friends going to these conventions, and I've been friends with a lot of these people for 5 to 10 years. That kind of says what kind of age I am, and I don't want to say my age, but you know what? Age is just a number. You do you, boo. You guys have fun. Doesn't matter if you're young or old. Don't let people get to you. all that encouraging stuff. And drink your water. Hope you guys are drinking water. I learned stuff. Good, I'm glad. But if you guys have any more questions regarding cosplay or regarding anime events or anything like that, definitely send me a message. I am on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and I believe Twitch has a whisper feature, so I will answer any questions you have on there. Sorry if I got distracted. My cat was also like running back and forth, and they're hyper, so I'm gonna go play with them right now and burn off some of their energy. So I need to drink water in my sleep. Yes, drink water in your sleep. I don't know how you can do that. Have like a little baggie of water, poke a hole, and just have the water just like, I don't know, I'm weird. That was supposed to be funny, but it just came out weird. Yeah, it was fun chill chatting and talking about Anime Expo and this year. Yeah, I'm very glad you were able to catch my stream, Kenichi Senpai. I don't think I've seen you on here before, but I'm glad you joined. And I'm glad we had interactions about the con. Again, if you're in the LA area, I would recommend other smaller cons if you're first starting out, because I feel like it's going to be very overwhelming. That was another thing. I've heard some people felt overwhelmed with the convention because there was a lot to do at Anime Expo. So I feel like your introduction should be something small and then work your way up, just so you won't feel super drained. Anyways, I'm babbling. But yes, so thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. This was fun. I'm glad I did it just chatting, because I'm very shy. I'm very awkward, and like even now I'm getting shy and awkward. But it helps a lot when you guys talk and like, you know, keep the conversation going. But so let me see. My next streaming date is gonna be on Sunday. We're gonna continue The Last of Us at 10 a.m. So if you guys want to watch that, we can definitely do that. I had my other hand moving, but you couldn't see it. But yeah, if you guys want to watch me play The Last of Us, I'll be playing that at 10 a.m. on Sunday. I don't know how far I am from the end, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. It's getting really intense, so if you guys want to watch that, definitely check that out. If not, I am going to be streaming Resident Evil 4. I did finish the game on stream, but I am going to do the Ada Wong side stories this Monday. And it might be a short stream, it might not, but if you guys want to check that out, I stream at 8 p.m. Pacific time on Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays. This was a different type of stream. I stream on Fridays. I just did the just chatting section, so Nana, you're laughing at me. I'm glad my awkwardness makes you laugh. I'm glad you guys find me funny, because sometimes I don't think I'm funny. But yeah, so if you guys want to keep up with my schedule, like I said, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, I post there and I have my schedules up there, and yeah. So have a good night, guys. Stay safe, stay hydrated, have a good weekend. I will see some of you guys on Sunday morning, if not Monday night. Good night, guys. But boys, take care. You behave now. Okay, bye.